Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send salutations upon His Prophet, alayhi salam, His companions, and those who follow them with good till the day of recompense. So in the last episode we discussed Laamu-s-shamsiyyah. I mentioned the 14 letters of Laamu-s-shamsiyyah, and they are gathered in the word Ibghi hajjaka wa khaf aqimah. That is, the beginning of every word in this phrase are the letters of Qamariyah. I mentioned that anytime you see Lam al-Qamariyah and you have Alif and Lam, anytime you have Alif and Lam, and a letter that succeeds this Lam, Alif and Lam, in the beginning of a sentence is a letter from the letters of Qamariyah, you do what we call al-Idhaar. That is, you pronounce it without laying emphasis or inserting one letter into another. So these lams, there are two types. You have two types. The second one is called Laamu-s-shamsiyyah, and inshallah this is what we'll be discussing today, inshallah. The author of the poem Tuhfatul Atfaal, he says, ثانيهما إدغامها في أرباع وعشرة أيضا ورمزها فاعي طب ثم صل رحما تحفظ ضف ذا نعم دع سوء ظن زر شريفا للكرم. So it says ثانيهما إدغامها في أربع وعشرة أيضا ورمزها فاعي طب ثم صل رحمة تفز ضف ذا نعم دع سوء ظن زر شريفا للكرم. It says the second type of alam. In this type, we do what we call al-idgham. That is, the rule for the second type of lam is called al-idgham, which is Laamu-s-shamsiyyah, and it's also in 14 letters. It occurs in 14 letters. Since if you take out 14 letters of Qamariyah, what you have left is 14 letters, because the letters of the Arabic alphabet are 28, according to what Jazari mentioned and what many scholars of Tajweed are upon. So they are 28. So the 14 letters of Shamsiyyah, it says memorize this phrase also to get the 14 letters. If you find this phrase difficult, you can just remember, once you've extracted the letters of Qamariyah, the rest are the letters of Shamsiyyah. If you take out letters of Qamariyah, this is Ibghi hajjaka wa khaf aqimahu. This is all the letters rather in this phrase. Ibghi hajjaka wa khaf aqimahu, all the letters in it. If you take them out, then what you have left is the letters of Ash-Shamsiyyah. So, and they are in the word Tib thumma sil. So they form the first they are the first letters of the word. Unlike Qamariyah, where you have Ibghi hajjaka wa khaf aqimahu, all the letters in that phrase are the letters of Qamariyah. And here Tib thumma sil ruhman tafuz dif dha ni'am, this phrase every word in this phrase, the beginning letter is a letter of Shamsiyyah. So you have in Tib, you have Ta. In Thumma, you have Tha as the second letter. In Sil, you have Sad. In Rahma, you have Ra as the fourth. In Tafuz, you have Ta. In Dhif, you have Dad. In Dha, you have Dhal. In Ni'am, you have Noon. In Da', you have Dal. In Su'ah, you have Sin. In Dhannin, you have Dha. In Zur, you have Zai. In Sharifan, you have Shin. And in Lil Karam, you have Lam. So all of these are the letters of Ash-Shamsiyyah, and the rule is to do idgham when it comes in contact with alif and lam. That is, you want to start a word, you want to pronounce a word in the Quran, and you see alif and lam, and the letter coming after it is what? A letter of Shamsiyyah. So you do idgham of the alif and the lam in the shin. And if you remember when we discussed idgham, we said idgham is when you insert a letter into another letter while giving that the second letter shadda. So this is what you do. So you have a word like at-tayr. You will not say al-tayr. No, there is lam, but the lam has been inserted into what? Into the ta. So you have at-tayr, at-tayr, al-thawb, al-thawb, al-thawb. You have ar-rahman, ar-rahman for ra. You have at-tamr, at-tamr for ta. You have ad-dayf, ad-dayf for dad. And the rest and the list goes on like that. You have an-nawm, an-nawm for noon. You have ad-dik, ad-dik for dal. You have as-sa'a, as-sa'a for sin. You have az-zayd, az-zayd for zai. You have al-zulumat for dha. You have ash-shams for shin. You have al-lam for lam, or al-lawm for lam. So all of this, you insert the Laamu-s-shamsiyyah into the letter of Shamsiyyah. So the poet says, وَاللَّامَ الْأُولَى سَمِّهَا قَمَرِيَّةً. So the first lam we mentioned, as we discussed it in the previous class, is called Laam al-Qamariyah in the previous episode. And وَاللَّامَ الْأُخْرَى سَمِّهَا شَمْسِيَّةً. The second lam is called Laamu-s-shamsiyyah. So he then says, وَأَظْهِرَنَّ لَامَ فِعْلٍ مُطْلَقًا. And every time you see Laam al-fi'l, what is Laam al-fi'l? Laam al-fi'l is the lam with sukun that you will find in the middle in a verb. It's called Laam al-fi'l. So it could appear at the beginning, or in the middle, or at the end of a verb. That is in the verb word, in a verb that's in a word that's a verb. It could occur probably at the beginning of the word, at the beginning of this the formation of the word, or in the middle, or at the very end. So he says adhiran. Anytime you see this lam al-fi'l, you do idhar. What it means is that you pronounce it naturally without laying emphasis from the right source. So في نحو قل, example is قل. So قل is the verb, and it's a command verb. فعل أمر. So you say قل. Do not say قل نعم. قل. So you just say قل. Example is قل نعم وقلنا والتقى. So in example of قل نعم, do not say قل نعم, قل نعم. Do not insert the lam into nun. You pronounce it just the way it is, as idhar. As this is how to pronounce the letter of the lam al-fi'l. So you say قل نعم. And also قلنا. Example of the lam occurring in the middle is in قلنا. Do not say قلنا. Do not give it kasra. Make it take it sukun, and the rule of idhar. وقلنا, and also والتقى, and also والتقى. Iltaqa is the verb, so it occurs here in the beginning of the formation of that word. So this is all for Laamu-s-shamsiyyah and Laamu-l-qamariyah. Inshallah, in the next episode we'll discuss al-idgham al-mithlayn wal-mutaqaribayn wal-mutajanisayn. May Allah make it easy. Subhanakallahumma hamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.